Hello everyone and welcome back to Biotic World, where we explore the fascinating world of biology. In today's video, we are diving deep into sexual reproduction in flowering plants, a process that's essential for the creation of new plants, ensuring biodiversity, and supporting ecosystems around the globe. If you are studying plant biology or just curious about how plants reproduce, this video is for you. So let's explore the incredible journey of plant reproduction. Sexual reproduction in plants is the process through which plants create offspring by combining genetic material from two parent plants. This process results in the formation of seeds, which will eventually grow into new plants. The key stages of sexual reproduction in flowering plants are pollination, fertilization, and the development of seeds and fruits. Let's break down each stage in detail. First, let's get familiar with the flower, which is the reproductive organ of most plants. Flowers contain both male and female parts which work together to facilitate reproduction. The male part of the flower is called the stamen, which consists of two parts, anther and filament. Anther, this is where pollen is produced. Pollen contains the male sex cells or the sperm cells. Filament, a slender stalk that holds the anther in place, making it easier for pollinators like bees or wind to collect pollen. The female part is called the pistil and includes stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma, this is the sticky surface at the top of the pistil that captures pollen. Style, the tube-like structure that connects the stigma to the ovary. The style guides the pollen tube down to the ovary. Next is ovary. This is where the ovules, female sex cells, are located. The ovary houses the eggs that will eventually be fertilized. Some other parts of the flowers like petals and sepals. Petals, these are often brightly colored and serve to attract pollinators like bees, butterflies, and birds. Sepals, these small leaf-like structures protect the flower buds before it opens. Now that we understand the structure of a flower, let's move on to pollination, the first step in sexual reproduction. Pollination is the process of transferring pollen from the anther to the stigma, the female part. This can happen in two main ways, self-pollination and the cross-pollination. In self-pollination, the pollen from a flower's anther lands on the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. Some plants like peas or tomatoes often rely on this method. Next is the cross-pollination. Cross-pollination occurs when pollen from one plant is transferred to the stigma of a different plant of the same species. This is the most common type of pollination in flowering plants and encourages genetic diversity. Pollination is facilitated by various agents. Insects like bees, butterflies, and moths are the most common pollinators. They transfer pollen while moving from one flower to another in search of nectar. Wind can also carry pollen, especially in plants like grasses or pine trees. Birds like hummingbirds and even bats are pollinators in some tropical regions. Once pollen reaches the stigma, the next stage is fertilization. Let's take a look at how this process unfolds. When pollen lands on the stigma, it begins to germinate, forming a pollen tube that grows down the style. The pollen tube carries the male sperm cells down through the style to reach the ovary. Inside the ovary there are ovules, each containing a female egg cell. One of the sperm cells travels down the pollen tube and fuses with an egg cell. This process is called the fertilization. This fusion of the sperm cell with the egg cell forms a zygote, which is called the fertilized egg. This marks the beginning of a new plant's life cycle. The second sperm cell may combine with two other cells in the ovule, forming the endosperm, which will provide nourishment for developing embryo. After fertilization, several changes take place. The ovule that has been fertilized becomes a seed. The seed contains the embryo plant, which is protected by a tough outer coat called the seed coat. The ovary surrounding the fertilized ovules transforms into a fruit. The fruit protects the seed and helps in their disposal. Fruits can vary greatly. Some are fleshy, like apples and peaches, while others, like nuts and greens, have hard, dry coverings. The fruit serves an important role in protecting the seed and helping it spread away from the parent plant. This can occur through mechanisms like wind, water, and animal consumption. Once the seed is dispersed and finds suitable conditions, it enters the stage of germination. During germination, the seed absorbs water and swells and breaks open to allow the embryo plant to grow. The first structure to emerge is the radicle, which anchors the plant into the soil and begins absorbing nutrients. Next, the shoot emerges, which contains the stem and leaves. The plant begins its life as a seedling and with time will mature into a full-grown plant. Sexual reproduction in plant is crucial for several reasons. Genetic diversity. By mixing the genetic material from two parent plants, sexual reproduction results in offspring that are genetically unique. This diversity helps plants adapt to changing environments and resist diseases. Second, adaptation and survival. In a consistently changing world, genetic variation allows plants to evolve and survive, whether it's adapting to drought, pests, or temperature changes. Sexual reproduction ensures that plants can thrive in different conditions. Next is the improvement of crop varieties. Through breeding programs, scientists can use sexual reproduction to create new plant varieties with desirable traits like higher yields, pest resistant, or improved nutritional content. So there you have it, a deep dive into the fascinating process of sexual reproduction in flowering plants, from pollination and fertilization to seed development and germination. It's a carefully orchestrated process that ensures the survival and propagation of plant species. This process also plays a critical role in agriculture, biodiversity, and food production, which makes it essential for life on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more exciting biology content. Let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think about plant reproduction, or if you have any topics you would like me to cover in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in